you're over 50 and you've heard me maybe say, wear less makeup. And you're like, how do I get coverage? How do I create lift? How do I create dimension and not show my texture that I have on my face? How do I do that with wearing less makeup? And I'm going to show you exactly that. Hang on tight here. I am going to show you my color match link is going to be put right here for you, so I can help you with this makeup. So we're going to do just this side of my face, and I'm going to show you how to get lift and dimension and wear less makeup. I promise you. I love my makeup more now than I ever have in my entire life, and I'm 55 years old. I really had gotten in my late 40s. I was struggling. I'm sure a lot of you have. You're just like, you struggle. You don't know what's going on. All you know is when you look in the mirror, the makeup is settling in your lines, your redness is showing through, you just got a lot more going on than what you used to, but you're still trying to do your makeup the same. So we're going to change that up, and I'm just going to do this side of my face, and I'm going to show you from my eyes, my eyebrows, and my face how we're going to do that. What's going on? Hi. I am so glad that you're here. You can see a link right here. So if you have any questions during this live, please ask. Facebook doesn't always show them to me, but I will answer them if I see them. I'm going to do my brows first, and then I'm going to go into eyeshadow, and then I'm going to go into my face, and I'll tell you all my tips on how to do what I'm talking about. So I always start with my eyebrows. So that's where we're going to start in this live. If you're here to say hi, even where you're from, Merry Christmas. I'm so glad that you're here. I really appreciate it. So you can see this hi, I can't see what I'm saying. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cindy. So you can see how this palette, I was going to say cosmetic for some reason, it looks different, right? See how it looks really weird and I have an empty spot in there? This is totally magnetic. And this little link that you see right here, I can match you to eyeshadows and I can match you to your face colors, which makes it so much easier because as a mature woman, we're just in a different ball game with colors and even your skincare. So first and foremost, I found a Korean skincare. And with the Korean skincare, they really truly believe in skin first, makeup second, which is so funny because I'm in here talking about makeup. But it's really made a difference in my skin. So in that link, you can also take my skincare quiz. So let's start with brows. I want to make sure I have the right color here. This is ash brown. This is NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I just get them off Amazon. Sometimes they have them at Walmart. I don't know. When I would go into Walmart, they wouldn't have my color. So I just get them off Amazon. Okay, so on my face, as a mature woman, we have a lot going on. We have hooded eyes, which that means this hood hangs over that mobile lid. See how my mobile lid is like a little bit more pink and how that is actually hanging over. That's a hooded eye. We have brows that are falling. Also, they've become more sparse. Our eyelashes are more sparse, all those things. This right here is something that you can focus on to help create lift to your entire face. I know, right? So this is ash brown. I actually use two different colors. I like outlining my brows first in a darker color, and then I like filling them in with, I think it's called soft brown. So let's start with ash. So when you look at yourself, and if you're an older lady, you probably never filled in your brows before, and it's kind of hard to get it and to get them to look nice, to get them to look good, to not make them look like I call them a powder brow, where they're all one solid thing. Now, if you have no brows, I get it. Like you need to do like a stencil or something, but we're going to do this and we're going to create lift. And what we're going to do with the eyes when we start is we're going to make sure that we have an arch to our brow. If your brow tends to go straight across, then you need to create just a little bit of a lift right here about the center of your eye. Mine's off a little bit. You need to create some lift. And then if you have hooded eyes, we're going to make sure that we get the medium to dark shade above our natural crease. So get a pen like this and I will do my brows for you. I'm not a master at brows, but I do what I can. These are slightly microbladed. I haven't had them microbladed in years. So most of it, I guess you see is hair. So you can see here, like I have a little bit of tattooing left right there, a little bit over here. Like it's like right there. And then I have these holes. So you see what I'm saying? Microblading, if you want to get microblading, I get asked about this. Find someone that you've seen their work. Don't ever, ever, ever go and get a microbladed unless you've seen the work. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is outline them. Okay, so I have been a cosmetologist for a long, long time. So when I wax someone's brows, I go straight up from the tear duct. Okay, a lot of us, our brows have moved in, like this one's moved in further than this one. Do your best. That's all I can say is you just have to do your best. So I'm going to take ash brown. I'm going to go straight up and I'm going to start here and I'm going to go under and I'm going to create an arch. If you haven't tweezed, if you haven't waxed your brows, get it done, clean them up, help them out. Okay. I like to go under first. Do this in any order that you want. And I like to do hair-like strokes. Then I go to the arch here. If you don't have an arch, create an arch as much as you can. Do not create a Nike thingy here. We want to get this. Like you don't want a check mark. That's what I want to say. You can do more of a Nike. You don't want a check mark. Okay. So we don't want this. We're just going to do the best that we can and create an arch. Okay. Then I do hair-like strokes up like that. And then I'll just kind of fill it in a little bit with the ash. This is ash. And then I stop. And then I go to soft brown. It's a little high maintenance, and I agree. But it's all I can do. Okay, it's the best I can do. And then I just start going with whatever way the hair grows. But the idea that you're doing here is you are filling in your brows because this is kind of it. Look at that one and then look at this one. See how it brings attention to the eye? Okay. It brings attention to the eye and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like circling it because obviously it's only the top, but having your brows done is going to give you a more finished look. It's going to give you a more lifted look. And honestly, if you're a mascara wearing eyebrows, maybe a little bit and a little bit of blush, you definitely need to be doing your brows. Okay. Then I'm done with the brows. I filled them in a little bit. I just kind of give them a little look-see and make sure that, all the holes are filled in. And then I always take a spoolie. I kind of let them dry down a little bit. Hang on, I have a couple spoolies, but I can't find the one that I want. And then I take a spoolie through the brow. So that's a spoolie. This is not the one I wanted. This one's so old. And then I just go like that and see how it kind of create a little bit more of a hair look. That's all I do. Don't wipe them all off. So this is my better brow that I'm showing you. This is the better brow, and then that's done. Then I already have an eye primer on, and the eye primer is Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the color Eden. I like this. It's very mattifying. If you have oily lids, it really helps the oily lids, and it helps the eyeshadow pop. I have it on this side too, a little bit, not a lot. I kind of wiped it off because I'm like, shoot, I didn't want it on there. But this will really help you, especially if you have oily eyelids. Like you can have dry face and an oily eyelid, and like you have to kind of clean it out of your natural crease because your eyes are so hooded. It kind of squishes it together and you get some oil in there. This will really help that. And we're going to create lift in and above our crease. So what I mean by that is, let me get my handy dandy tool here. So we have this natural lid we have our mobile lid right there. And the mobile lid is the one that blinks over the eyeball. And that's this right here. And then we have my natural crease is right there. It's right there. Like, see where I have that bending right there? But if I put my eyeshadow there, you won't be able to see it when I open my eye. So we're going to create lift by putting a medium to dark shade right there. So that's how you're going to help create lift. You've got lift with your brow already. And now with creating an arch, get this cleaned up underneath, and then we're going to create with an eyeshadow look. Okay, so get a good eyeshadow brush. This is Saint's eyeshadow brush right here. It has a fluffy end, and it has a little bit more of a dense end. I need my little eyeshadow cleaning tile here. These things are great. You can get some like off Amazon or whatever, but Saint has these, and it actually fits in the compact, but I don't have it in there right now. So I will take the eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to gently clean it off. It's like a color changing tile, honestly. It's so good. Everyone needs one. You're not ever going to wear it out. So, I mean, you buy it once and you're done. So I'm going to take a shade like this. This is Chai. You could take any one of these shades. These are like my mobile lid shade. I have Cupcake, Mama, Chai, Pup, Paris, and Valencia. These are all mattes. They just happen to be mattes. And these are all my mobile lid shade. So if you want to screenshot that and you want me to tell you what they are sometime, then I can. But these are those light shades. Now, I don't think white, okay? Just lighter shade that's going to go on that mobile lid to help open the eye up. And then we're going to go into these, okay? And everyone's different. If you're super, super, super fair skinned, you know, some of these might be your crease color, and that's okay. So I'm going to, I'll take the fluffy end, and we're going to do chai. Chai is the best color. Chai might be a little warm for some, and if it is, go to pup. Pup is really good. So chai is that color, and then pup is that color. I'm going to take it on here, and then I'm going to just kind of put it on that mobile lid, like so. And then I'm going to take it just a tiny bit up into my crease, but it's not really doing much for my crease except just existing. Okay, so this is there, like so. And that's all we're going to do there. And then we're going to focus on the lift and dimension. So I am going to take Bird, I think. I just love Bird right there. That's my like darkest colors. Let's pop out that shimmer because I say something and then we have this lovely little shimmer and it's confusing. Okay, so these are like my dark shades. These can go in and above the crease, and these darker shades can go in and above the crease. Okay, these are going to create dimension. When you have hooded eyes, you don't really have that brow bone. Okay, it's in there, but it's just got a whole lot. I mean, look. I could get a whole lot cut off. They'd probably be like, Sonia, we're not taking that much off. Your eyeball would be open 24 hours a day. I always throw my eyeshadow brush down. That's a lot of skin right there, and we need to put dimension in there. Light brings forward, so the chai is bringing forward my mobile lid, and then the medium to dark shade is going to create the dimension that we need. So I'm just going to go into Bird right there. You could have done any of these. You could do basic, I don't know about Claire, Lullaby, Cafe, London, Baba, any of those shades also. This is Eve, Bird, Sedona, Revival, and Spell. Any one of those. But we're going to do Bird because I just love Bird. And we're going to simply hold back on your eyeshadow brush. You're going to be very nice to it. You're not going to smoosh your eyelid. You're going to be very, very gentle. Let me scoot over a little bit because we're just going to focus on this right eye. So I want you to watch the dimension start to happen to this one. I have to close my eye a little bit. I have to lift my head. So we're going to put some right there. And this is like a khaki brown. Do you see already the dimension that starts? That's what we're looking for. And you're getting it above your natural crease. And you're very gently smooshing, okay? We're not going to get it too low over here. I'll show you a little trick for that. I'm going to smoosh it around my eyelid. See how it goes like that? We're smooshing. Don't look at my eyelashes. They need redone. I have fake eyelashes on, and they're a hot mess, but we're okay. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and I'll do them tomorrow. Okay, so we're doing in and above the crease right here. Okay. And then look at the dimension that we're creating. We didn't go all the way up to the brow. We want a little bit of white right there. So see what I'm saying? It's so good. Now, if you, right here, this is the no-no zone, and I'll put you don't need to do this. Don't do this. But I'm going to show you with some white brightener where you don't go past. That right there. Well, whatever. From the corner of my eye to there, I do not want the color to go past it. Why? Dark color is creating dimension, right? If you go down too low, it's going to drag your eye down, okay? And we don't want that. So we're just going to kind of leave that right there. And then we're going to find the eyeshadow brush that I keep throwing down again. And I'm going to go back into Bird, and I'm just going to kind of play around here. Add a little bit more. And one trick that I do that helps me to not get it too low and to help get the edge of lift that I want is I will take a paper, or I'll take a makeup spatula, and I'll put it over here. I take the flat end. If you're in your car, guys, you could even, I shouldn't say this. I've done a business card. I've done a gas receipt. You can do your license. Whatever it is, all I can say is something like this will not work because it's too thick. I've thought about it, but take that paper and go from that corner of your eye to the tail of your brow. Take it into that medium to dark shade and simply sweep it over and into your crease. I'm going to add a little bit of a shimmer here in just a minute too. All right, so stuck to that. Take that off. We still have that white there. And that's all you're going to do. If you get it too low, it's okay. Just clean it up. Just wipe off that eyeshadow. Okay, so there we go. This is so neutral. You guys, I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, so you see how you have lift and how good it is? It's so good. And look at that eye, and then look at this eye. Huge difference. I'm going to take just a little bit of a darker color spell here, and we're going to create even a little bit more dimension. You don't have to do this. Now, see that already? Okay. Very, very gently on the outer part, and then I'm just going to sweep a little bit of it in. So I'm kind of in and above my crease. Okay, we're going to be done with that part of it. So the light is bringing forward on the lid. See the lid? Okay, now when I open my eye, you can't really see it, but because I have a lighter shade there, that's kind of opening the eye up, and then that darker part is creating a brow bone that I don't have. Now, I had this shimmer in my palette, and it's Sabrina, but I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. You remember light brings forward? We're going to take a little bit of a shimmer, and we're going to put it on that mobile lid to create even a little bit more lift. And the only reason I'm doing this is because it's the holidays. And it's kind of fun maybe to add a little bit of a shimmer with your red or your green or your gold shirt or something like that. I'm going to take the small end of the eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to define underneath my brow because maybe you got a little sloppy. This is Cupcake. Cupcake is the very lightest matte shade that we have. And we're going to be done with that. I should have been more prepared. I really like Soulmate. Soulmate is a really pretty shimmer that hopefully I can find without searching too long. If not, I'll just grab another one. Oh, that one's a really pretty one too. Riviera is another one that's super, super pretty. Oh my gosh. All right, let's just grab one and go. That's too chunky. All right, let's do Riviera. I can't find it quickly, and I am going to lose you if I just keep doing this. See, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking at all of these, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where is it? Okay, let's do this right here, Riviera. So it's like a gold. It'll be fun. Okay, let's take it like this. I like finely milled shimmers for myself. If you don't like, you're like, I am not a shimmer girl. I don't want it at all. Take a little bit of that Cupcake and put it in the inner corner. That Cupcake was that really light color, and that'll just help open up your eye a little bit more. I like using my finger. Sometimes I use my pinky. I'm going to start here in the inner, or right in the center of my eye. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take it. I'm going to get a little bit more on there. I'm going to pull my eye over, and I'm going to get it just on the mobile lid. Just on the mobile lid. Just on that lid that blinks, okay? Now see what that does? It doesn't have to be anything overly dramatic, but see how that can just add a little bit of something to open that eye up a little bit more? If you don't like shimmers, it's okay. I get a lot of older ladies that are like, I shouldn't say older, I'm older. 55, 50, 40, whatever. They're like, I can't do it. And that's okay. But sometimes you can, and you don't think you can. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this and make sure that I have everything where I want it. I'm going to take a little bit of that bird, and I'm going to put it down here. All right, we are done with that. The eye has been lifted and opened up, and the reason I know that is look at the difference between the two eyes. Like if I sit back and you look at me, you're like, okay, she looks more awake than what she does on the other side. So now, I constantly am preaching less makeup. You need to wear less makeup as a mature lady, and you may be thinking, how do I do that? Like, how can I wear less makeup and accomplish everything that I want to accomplish? Well, how you do that is you're very strategic in what you do. So let's find my blush that I'm wanting, which is Sandstone. I love Sandstone. Even my daughter, who's very fair skinned, just walked in here and she's like, oh my gosh, that is the prettiest color. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm gonna put it in here, my palette. Okay, lift and dimension, no texture. Think that when you look at your face. I want lift, I want dimension, and I don't want to add to my texture. So you have to find your texture first. And you're like, what is that? That is fine lines, not so fine lines and wrinkles. It's pores. I have really large pores over here, and I have acne scarring. That is what texture is. And then, you know, the older we get, the more we get on our faces. And so we want to not add to that. And so by getting a color match by me, I can get you your right shades for your face. Sometimes we cannot use one shade all over, because if I take one shade and put it all over, the redness won't get covered. And then the too light of shade on my nose and my acne scarring and on my under eyes might look gray. And then my acne and my pores will pop, and definitely my fine lines. Light will bring forward. I don't want to bring my pores forward or my lines or my acne scarring. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do to help just warm up my skin, it's a really nice base for the skin, especially for a mature lady, is to bronze first. And that is just a really great thing to do. And I want to grab a very specific brush here, right here. Okay, I'm going to use this brush, and I'm going to take this cream bronzer. It's Bella. It's the best. I love this bronzer. And if you've never used cream makeup, you just don't know what you're missing. It does not soak into the skin like a liquid, so it doesn't dry down. So you don't get that dry down effect that you do with liquid. And of course, powders. I mean, even if you're not a makeup guru, you probably know that powders are not working very well on your skin. And powders are something that you have to be really super careful with. You can do it. We can do some powders, but we have to be really careful, and we have to press them in. Okay, so look at my face already. See how it's warming up, and see how we're getting a little bit of dimension. We haven't contoured or anything. I'm just adding bronzer to warm things up. It kind of helps blend in that redness. Like, see how this and see how that, okay? So that's one way of wearing less makeup, is by adding some dimension with some bronzer. And then I'm going to take this. These are my two main highlight shades. This is Golden Hour and Hazel. And those, I have two of them. I need to melt that one down. It's the most hideous looking thing. I have two of them. This goes on my redness and on the inner part of my discoloration on my under eye, and any other discoloration. This one will go on the rest of my face. Sometimes I don't even use that second highlight shade. I simply cover the redness, get my nose and my acne scarring covered, and my under eyes, and we're good to go. So I'm gonna use this brush, and I'm gonna take it on here. Less is best always, so can constantly be telling yourself that. And that's the thing with these creams, is it's so easy for me to customize it to me. And what I'm doing right now is I'm applying only where I want it. And that's the beauty of this one palette. It's magnetic. You can start little, you can start big, you can do it any way you want. But I do tell you, if you're going to do it, always size up on your palette and check out, because you'll be wanting more. Okay, so I'm putting this darker shade still, and I've gotten that. A little bit on my nose and some on my acne scarring. I'm going to do my whole chin. I'm not going to divide it in half. Like that, okay? And see how my skin tone is just evened out? And it's looking, I mean, it just looks like skin with dimension. It looks like skin, and we're going to create some lift here in just a little bit. Okay, so I have that on, and then I have like no makeup here. I have no makeup here, and I have no makeup here. And we're going to take that second shade there, and I could switch brushes. I like the shape brush a lot. Tap it into that, and then I'm simply going to add that makeup there. This is on my jaw. We want to make sure that our jaw always flows into our neck. That does not mean bring your makeup all the way down. No bueno. Not like when we were younger, where we had these floating orange heads, and then we had a neck because we put whatever color makeup that we wanted and what we liked on our faces, and then we tried bringing it down, or you needed to add a bunch of bronzer to your neck or anything like that. No, what I suggest that you do is if you are darker up here naturally, you're super fair skinned on your neck, or it could be vice versa. It could be darker than lighter. Then take whatever color on your jaw, like right in through here, and make it blend into your neck. Okay. So if you're darker, 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 and it needs to be lighter, put a little bit lighter along your jawline. Okay. So I'm just going to cover everything else with this second color. That's what I do. Just tap it in, and I use the most minimal amount that I can. Whoops, I just dipped it in the wrong color to get the coverage that I want. Now, before getting this makeup, I had tried everything. I had always used I guess not always. I had used a liquid for most of my life, and then I had gone to the powders, and then I was like, what do I do? Because this is not looking good anymore. And because it wasn't looking good anymore, I tried BB creams, CC creams, anti-aging, liquid, thicker liquid, thinner liquid. I mean, whatever, you name it. I tried it and got to where I kind of didn't wear anything. I was doing black eyeliner, lower, I have a picture, black eyeliner, not heavy, but black eyeliner, mascara. I tried to fill in my brows and maybe a little bit on my face. And to be honest with you, it wasn't doing much for me. I'm not going to contour. You can create contour, or you can create lift and dimension with contour, but I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do now is the under eye. We're going to use the most minimal amount of makeup by adding a little bit of color correction right there. So a lot of you and I have purple and blue. I don't have overly dark under eyes, but what you can't really see right here is this is pretty purple. And I've had a hard time getting it to be disguised. But what I have found is, for me, I can disguise it and color correct it with our 3D makeup. For you, it might be something else. But then I also darken the rest of my under eye. Don't put a light concealer on your under eye darkness. It makes it look gray. It makes it look cakey. You can't take that dark color, put that light color on, and hope that you can meet somewhere in the middle most of the time. You actually need to put a dark color on your dark. I know it's so bizarre, but let's take this dark color. That was the color I put on my redness, and I'm just going to put some here, and I'm going to tap a little bit. If you get too much, tap some on your hand, because I did. And I'm going to take care of that purple by sweeping just a little bit over. And I'm going to take care of that blue. Okay. So that is going to take care of that. Okay. And then, you know how you can see, like, I would be like, I can't really get that cover. Like, it's okay. This white right here, I'm actually going to darken it. And I'm going to darken it with Suede Lip Liner and Bella Bronzer. I have to mix. Here's Bella Bronzer. There's Suede Lip Liner. See how they're pretty close? I'm actually going to deepen. You can just take a shade that is close to your skin tone or a bronzer underneath the eye and next to any darkness. So see, I've color corrected that. Now this is white, and this is white, and this is white. And then I'm going to stay out of my tear trough with some darkness. I always need to convince you guys of this stuff. I feel like I need to talk it to death, and I don't. Let's just try it. Just try it. Put dark next to the dark to help disguise it. Okay, we're going to fill that in. And again, less is best. Wow. Do you hear my daughter yelling? I think the cats are fighting. So we have these garage cats, and I let them in because it's cold. And I think they're fighting. Okay, so see how we're darkening that a little bit? And we're doing it very, very carefully and strategically. So I want to just put a little bit in and blend it in. And all I'm trying to do is disguise the inner eye darkness. So again, for you, it might even just be a darker concealer pen, right? All right, we're good there. And then that's good. We're disguised. We're kind of flowing really well. Then I am going to put some blush on. My bronzer looking like crazy. And then I'm going to put some blush on. I showed you that sandstone color. I might mix it with Frenchie. I don't know. Let's just try a little bit of it. I like putting it on with my finger. This one's really soft because it's new. So we're going to apply. I like going from the back forward. So we haven't really we've created some dimension with the bronzer. But now we're going to do some tricks to create lift and maybe a little bit more dimension. So we're going to start in the back. For my lips, I don't have a cheek. Like I don't have an apple to my cheek. So I start back here and I bring my blush forward, which is pretty much the opposite of what anyone did when they were younger. So I'm going to start back here and do that right on my cheekbone. And then I'm going to tap it in. I like using my finger. I'm not telling you to do this at all. I have blush placement problems. And so if I can feel my cheekbone like so, what?
Kind of a palette.
Yeah. If I can feel my cheekbone like this and create lift with it, then I'm good to go. The little ones are in a different place. They're over there. No. So I'm creating lift. So see how I'm go from about the center of your eye and go up like that. And then just you can do this with a brush. You don't need to use your finger. And then I'm just going to take a brush and blend it in. Like so. Okay, so see how I've just created a little bit of lift with just taking it a tiny bit towards my temple, like that. If you get it too low, you get it too high, you get it too far in, anything like that. I'm using sandstone, Lori. I love it. It's legitimately my hands down favorite. It's a matte satin and it's my favorite. Okay, so we can go like that. We can fix anything if you got it too low, which I sometimes do. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of Frenchie right there, which is another really great color, but it's pretty light for me to use all over, and I'm just going to kind of ombre everything. And I'm going to bring just a little bit of it in. Okay, so I'm done. Take the brush, go like so. Okay, so you're welcome. One thing that I want to do, what I always stay out of, areas that I stay out of are my temples here. My temples here, because my temples are sinking in, so I do no contour, no bronzer there. And see this darkness right there? That's created it's my jowl falling down. It's created a dip right here. I don't put like bronzer or contour or anything in there, okay? You'll accent areas, they're there, they're dark, and we don't want to accent them. So if you got your blush wonky, we can fix it, but I like to take a little bit of this, and that's my main shade. I put just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. That's probably too much even. And I just feather the edges. That's all. Feather the edges a little bit, and then it just looks more of a flushing instead of a strip of blush. All right. Next comes my favorite part. Hi, Lori. Oh, hi, Lori. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Merry Christmas. We're going to brighten. And we're going to brighten. Now, look at my face so far. Look at my eye. I want you to look at my eye. It astounds me sometimes when I, like, just being able to create a little bit of that dimension on that eye, how much different that is. So good. We're going to create light, bright areas that are going to help create lift. And they're very strategic areas. I'm going to grab, this is just the blur brush. You could grab the smudge brush too. This is a rounded, dense end. What I feel like you need is dense, not willy-nilly. I don't want willy-nilly. I want dense so I can be strategic with this. Thank you. We're going to take a light color, and this is going to be subtle. Okay, with the position that we're in of having mature skin, it moves a lot. It's not tight anymore. And we are just putting little things in areas that really help. So this is white peach. It may be different for you. And I'm going to, remember that brow? Okay, we're going to create lift right here above the arch. We're going to create lift here on the outer part of my eye, because these things are going down. That brow may have fallen a little bit, you know. And then we're going to create lift here on the cheekbone, because my cheek is like flat. I mean, look, like I really don't have much of a dip in underneath my cheekbone. So I'm going to create it by adding light right there, a little bit of light above the jowl. Okay, you can even put a little bit there. I mean, it's just, let's just play around. But an area that I'm having to kind of stay out of now with brightener is honestly where everybody puts it. And it's mainly on this side. I sleep on this side, and I think this is why this is, do you see how I have this line? Not necessarily on that side, but I do on this side. The brightener will accent it. Bright light brings forward, dark recedes. So let's take that light to our advantage. Let's put a tiny bit on here and do this. I'll leave the dots. Let's do this on the outside of the eye. See how that does that? Let's create a little bit. If this is too light, add a little bit of dot of your main shade underneath your contour. Underneath it. Like, here's my cheekbone. We're down here. Okay, there. See how that's kind of carving it out? And then this right here. Oh, I hope my husband doesn't call me. He's texting me. And then I am just going to simply blend those areas in. Like I said, you can do this right here because there's a shadow. See how I have a jowl and how it comes in? I mean, it helps a little. Okay, right there. I'm going to show you then right in here what I have to do because of this stuff that I have going on in the indents and stuff. So let's blend this in. Look at that. That's my favorite spot right there. That is my favorite spot because when you have hooded eyes and you have drooping right there, it's just creating that lift right there. If a light color is too light and it accents like that crow's feet too much, just go a little bit darker and I can help you with that. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to blend, lift that in, and then right here. Now, in this area, like I said, we can take, some of you, if you have a fuller cheek, you can take light here and bring it down like so. I'm only doing it because you can. I feel like it accents that line right there. So I take a little bit of the bright and a little bit of my main on this brush, and then I'm going to carve out my cheekbone. You don't have to do this. I mean, like, these are, I've used such minimal makeup. You guys have watched me. I have not used a lot of makeup. I am being very strategic where I'm sticking it, like a little bit right here on the high point of my brow bone. I'm carving out a cheekbone, just a tiny, tiny bit. And when I dip into this, this is what I do. This will last me a year. It's $16 or more. My darker shade, 6 months maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking, this is huge. They last for a long time because we use such minimal. So I guess one win for being older. So those are those areas of light that are just creating a little bit of lift for us ladies that need it. We can also go down the center of the nose. I want to get a smaller brush for that though. Whoops, that's not what I want to pick up. Here's the light. You can contour the nose too. A little bit down the center. In the middle of here. If you have deep 11s, don't do it. It's all right. Like that. And then if you have lips on, like a lipstick, you can take a little bit of your brightener and put it on your Cupid's bow in the center of your lip there. Let me grab a color. Let's just do this color. We don't care what it is, right? Not very dark. Let's add a little bit of Fig in, which is going to be on our Boxing Day sale. Okay. And then what you can do is take that brightener again, okay? Or illuminator, either one. Take it, and you can put it on the Cupid's bow. Here. Okay. And you could put a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, hang on, tiny, tiny bit on your finger. Well, here, I'll just use a different finger. And there, on the center of it. Why does that do that? Because light brings forward, and then it kind of illuminates that center. And it's the same thing with all those other strategic areas that you just place this brightener. You're just being strategic, and so then you can use less makeup and still get the look that you want. So I have a dip. I remember I bronzed my under eye. I have this dip right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of that brightener in, but remember a little bit, okay? Because that was a lot. I'm going to put just a little bit, and I only do this outer part right here because I have a pretty deep tear trough, like so. And that'll help create lift also. So, okay, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you need anything, I will check the comments here later or whatever. Maybe I missed something. And oh, if you do want to finish off with powder, you can. Just make sure you're pressing it in and not putting too much on. I've accidentally gotten too much on and had to wipe it off before. So the most minimal amount that you can get, the better. All right, see ya. Bye, guys.